Hey guys, we're back, and I got a new toy here. It's a Creality LD002H, the new model. They used to have a 002R, and picked this up because I wanted to get into try resin. I have the, if I can do this, I got the ender in the back there, and I've done quite a bit with that, and wanted to try my hand at the resin printing. And I haven't even opened this up yet, but I did get the area over here ready. Let's see if I can do this. It's still on the tripod. So we're going to set her up right here. Probably have to move these. But got the silicone mat. Everybody recommends getting one of these. It's got a lip around the edge in case any spills. And then this case down here has, if I can open it. It's hard with the camera because it's on the tripod still. Got rags in here. We have 91% alcohol. Couldn't find the 99 around here, but I heard the 91 actually works just as good. Also got some Mr. Clean because I heard that works well to clean parts. Haven't actually tried, so we're going to see how that works out. And the resin's going to go in there too when I get some. Unfortunately, the printer came today, but the resin did not, so. I think I got most of what I need over there though, so we're going to open this up and take a look. Moving the whole thing out there. So right on the top here, we got our power cord. String on it. We got small toolkit, brush, a couple of the scraper spatulas. There's some funnels in here to strain back out the resin, and some Allen wrenches. This USB stick, I heard some people had some issues with these, so I'm curious to see if mine actually works, but I have other sticks if it doesn't. There's a notice in here, an addendum to the instructions, I think, but it's in Japanese. Oh, there is English on there too. This looks like the film for the bottom of the bat. Chrome. That one's come out of there. Everything's upside down now, but actually heavier than I thought it would be. So there's the printer itself. There's more parts hidden in there. And I like that the dome comes pre-assembled. I saw another model of a different brand where this was like kind of snapped together and it had like rubber bands around it that held it. This is like solid. I don't even think there's a seam on there. Yeah, so it was molded as one piece, I think. So that's nice. And then hidden in the foam here, the actual build plate. And that looks like brushed aluminum. It's kind of smooth. I expected there to be texture on there. I plan on getting the magnetic plate on here just because I've heard all of the usefulness of it. And then you have our bat on here. And the neat thing about the vat for this one, you can see here is this little line shows you your resin level, so you can tell when it's getting low and you need to add more depending on the model you're making. And it does come with film already on there. Will need to be cleaned though. It's got a little bit of dust and stuff on it. I don't want to set that down. But on here, there is a protective film over top of the screen. There's also a piece of glass, I believe, over the screen on these. So if you do have a spill, it doesn't get down into the screen, which is nice. And then you have a fan here. It's an exhaust fan. It has a carbon filter under it. And this blows exhaust down and out the back side. And I've already looked into 3D printing a little cover for this fan that has it makes it easier to get to the cartridge. You don't have to actually undo the screws. You can just pull it out the side and replace that carbon filter. And there's also a piece you can make that magnets onto the back of here that I can vent out the window if I need to deal with fumes. So we're gonna set this back up here for now. But that's a quick look at everything right out of the box there. It's actually a little bit smaller than I was expecting. I thought it was slightly bigger than that, but I can't wait to get it up and running. I'm going to read through the manual because this is my first resin printer. I've done a lot of research on it. I just never used one myself, so I'm going to read through that, get everything set up, be prepared for when the resin shows up tomorrow, and hopefully see about getting some stuff printed for the first time. Okay, so I'm going to apologize if you can hear the other printer here. It's actually printing for once. So, it makes a little bit of noise. But I finally got the rest of the stuff in for the resin printer. And we're going to go ahead and get started with that. I did print up some other supplies and things. So, I don't have a cover for it yet, so I'm still using the plastic. I did print up a handle. And this is actually going to go on top of here. I got to drill some holes for it just to make this easier to remove without getting fingerprints all over it. It was a common complaint of other people, so just simple print that I made on the ender. Also have under here, for when I do have that done, this little guy here comes out, flips over, goes back on, and this will actually mount right there. So I have a place to put the lid when I take it off. I did print this vat cover, which goes under the screws here. I think I have them screwed down right now, but I'll loosen these up. And that'll fit right under there for short-term storage of resin in the vat between prints. Obviously long-term you want to pour it out of there, but the darker color will help keep UV out, and it keeps dust from getting in the vat as well. And then we have this little plate here, which is for when you remove the vat to do any kind of maintenance or cleaning. You don't want to set it down on a surface because you'll scratch the film on here, and this actually fits in there perfectly to keep it elevated up off of it so it's not sitting on the film. And then finally we have the cleaning vat here, and it's got our 91% alcohol in there. It's a push button there to actually seal it. And then we printed this tray, which you can put parts on to wash them in there. It also has, I don't know if I can do this without dumping it on camera. You can see how it's angled there on here. And that is to actually put the build plate will set right on that ledge, and you can wash the build plate on there in the alcohol as well to clean that off. We do have some all-purpose lube here. This was actually recommended to me by another guy who owns a printer that I know, and a couple drops of this spread across the film in your vat will keep parts from sticking to the vat, and he's had great luck with it, so I bought the same brand he recommended, so we're going to try that out. But The other things that we finally got that I didn't have ready before were the UV powered turntable here. It's got solar panels on all the sides, and it will slowly rotate the parts under the UV lights. The nice thing is you don't even need to put batteries in it because the UV lights will power it. So that was one of the things I was waiting for. As well as the UV lights. You get a roll here. I think there's a couple meters of UV LEDs. And then they have the adapter pre-wired on them, which goes to this plug here. And these I made sure were the right wavelength for the resin I'm using. They also have points where you can cut, I don't know if I can get that on camera, where you can cut there and then solder on new wires so you can adjust however you want. And I think the end actually has bare wires on it, so you can mix and match and connect them however you need to, or you can use just the same strips the way they are. They have a self-adhesive on the back, but I don't know how well I trust that, so I'm probably going to use like hot glue or something to glue that on just to be sure. And then for now, we're going with a great thing here, is these great popcorn tins you get from Christmas time. I'm going to spray paint it black, at least for now, but the inside's what we're more interested in. And the inside is this somewhat reflective metallic surface. I may put some aluminum tape in there to see how this works without it. But the turntable is going to go in the bottom of there. The UV lights will go around the edges with the cord sticking out the top. So I can shut the lid, put the parts in there, and fully cure them. So I think that's everything. The only other thing is the resin. And I got some Elegoo Gray here just to try it out. And I got the smaller bottles because I want to try and find what works best for me. This has little to no odor at all. I was very afraid because everybody mentioned how bad the smells and stuff were. And maybe it's just me, but I noticed like practically no odor from this one at all. So I'm happy with that. We're going to see how well it works once I actually start printing with it, and we'll see how that turns out. I also picked up some of the Shinesing. I heard good things about it. It's a cheap brand, so I'm going to see how well basically the name brand versus the cheaper brand works for me, at least. I did notice one thing though, just opening the bottle. This has a much stronger odor just in the bottle itself than that, so curious to see how much of a difference that makes once it's in here and venting. The only other thing I want to look at is if the fumes do bother me. This is a game room, which most of the time nobody's in unless we're in here using the game room, in which case the printers usually aren't running at the time. So it shouldn't be a big issue, but if it does become an issue with the smell permeating in the room, because you have the fan here which filters through the charcoal filter and then it vents out the back. I found plans for a 3D printable vent that magnetizes onto the back of here and then connects onto your standard like flexible hose people use for like air conditioners. And there is a window over that way, just off camera, that I can put a vent in and just run a tube around behind this stuff to vent out that window if need be. So we're going to see how well it works without it, and I may rearrange things. Like I might put the printer on that side so that I have shorter distance to run a hose if I do go that route. But as far as I know, I have everything I need to attempt this and try my first print. So keep an eye on the channel, and we're going to see how well this works and compare it. Maybe I'll find a model I can print on both the resin printer and the FDM printer and compare, and we'll see how that works out. But for now, that's going to wrap it up for this one, and can't wait to actually try this out and fail miserably my first few attempts, because I'm sure it's going to happen. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.